Well, this is a video on status of function, I guess you could say. It's not a victory dance for it by any means, but it is a learning experience. I'm going to share this for you all, and maybe Leon will see it too, but I've been working on this trigger. I usually do the puff and chuff with a button saying this is how it's going to work. Well, I'm supposed to have a button, supposed to have a synchronized trigger for the motion of the wheels to do this, right? So we've been working on that off and on. I've done several over the years, and this is one that I like a lot. Once we get it ironed out, this is all new parts. So there's some, monkeying, you can say, that you have to do. But the motor is being driven by the DC power supply, and it's only getting 2 volts. So we're not going fast, or we're trying not to go fast. So you can see that power is coming in here and just running the motor, and that's it. I have a second power supply, that transformer, and it's coming in and it's powering the puffer board and the switch and the signal. Oh, and the transformer is also powering through this power distribution to this regulator up to the smoke. So it's powering the heat. But it's not running the motor, because I wanted to get the motor slower, then I can get it with a transformer to test this out. Okay, so, and every once in a while it says, I need more juice. And so I give it to it, and it's happy. It's not warm or nothing. But here's what happens. When you give it the juice, the fan is basically on full time, whether you're getting chuffs or not. Now all this intermittent stuff is, my wiring is fluky and all that, so don't stress over the intermittent aspects of things. There, see, I moved one wire and it took off. Okay. But what's happening, even at the lowest of speeds, is I get down to 2.5 volts, and you can see the trigger is going in and out. Click, 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 right? And this thing, you can kind of see there's a volume, kind of a bulb, but it's so frequent that you don't get the separation. But this is because we can't run this any slower with just DC coming in, even if it's converted. You need something more sophisticated like pulse width modulation, which I have no clue what that is or how it works. I just know that it turns this into almost like a stepper motor. So you can sit there and feed it 1 mile an hour and it'll go 1 mile an hour. Until we get there, this four chuffs per rev cam is pretty useless, in my opinion. So what it tells me is I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board, which isn't that hard to do, and cut off 2 lobes and give me a 4 chuff. Go from a 4 chuff to a 2 chuff and see if that gives us a distinct chuff signal, okay? Now I had a chuff soundboard on here temporarily, a really old one, but it was just too confusing because it has a lot of other sounds, and it's an old board, so it would turn on the bell and it would do stupid stuff. So okay, we'll just end that for now. But let me see where I'm at with this. My voltage, is it regulating or what here? Oh hell, I put it right over it, didn't I? It's not doing things too well. It's not hot or anything. It's just up and down, and I don't know why. Loose wiring and all this, when you wire them up, things get a lot better. But anyway, so what I think I'm going to end up doing is creating a second cam, which I can do. Andy has sent me the file so I can edit the thing. And I'll create a 2 pulse per rev fan and see if that doesn't give us a little more distinction. If that is still too muddy to differentiate when the chuffs are coming, I'll have to go to a 1, which means we'll just mimic what the flyer has, which is pretty sad But, you know, it's because we can't control the motor any better. This motor could be controlled if I had a better motor controller. Right now I'm just using a power supply, and that's all we're going to use when we convert to even to the digital reverse. That's just a power supply basically. So we got to get a little more sophisticated on the controls. Andy has done some work on that. It works. There you can tell, boy, this motor really winds up, doesn't it? All those ball bearings in there are pretty cool. Okay, so we will just take this as a lessons learned. Too many triggers at this motor speed. That's what it amounts to. So back to the drawing board and get more done on it. I'll fill you in as it goes along. You can hear the motor fan mark. Got a pretty good signal there, but all of our smoke, I don't know which wire to wiggle now. I had it figured out, but it's gone. This guy's a little warm. Maybe he's too warm. I don't know. All right, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it right now. We'll figure it out, and I'll change the cam and post again probably tomorrow. Okay, there's an update. Chuff and Puff trigger, it's working. It's too many puffs and chuffs per revolution for the motor speed that we can do. That's the bottom line. All right, later, gang.